What is going on? The catch. Fam, hope everyone's doing phenomenal today, man. It is Sunday. We are actually just about an hour away from our 1 o'clock slate for week 4 of the 2023 NFL season of week 4, the 2023 fantasy football season. So you guys know what we're doing today. Any fantasy football questions that you guys have, start sits, trades, roster reviews, weather updates, whatever it may be, we're getting right into it today, ladies and gentlemen. So hit the like on the way in, but most importantly, guys, get in the live chat. Let me know what you guys need. And let's talk some fantasy football. So obviously, we've already got a little bit of action today with the Jaguars and Falcons in London. Has mainly been a game that has been all Jaguars. A little disappointed so far in the Falcons today. But I mean, Bijan still has 18 points. Drake London scored a touchdown. I mean, we talked about this last night, and I did not believe in Drake London and the London game and everything. And he comes out and actually scores touchdown, 6 targets so far, 3 receptions, 28 receiving yards, and a touchdown for London. So a pretty good stat line for Drake London owners. But I mean, it's not like the ceiling was super high today for London at just 11.8 points. But nonetheless, we got a touchdown out of Drake London. So you're probably happy, even if you benched him, because at least there's something positive. Calvin Ridley, recommended starting him on last night's stream. He hasn't had a massive game by any means. But at the end of the day, he scored a touchdown, 2 targets, 2 receptions, revenge game. I like the script for him. And I mean, actually, the same exact amount of points as Drake London at 11.8 fantasy points for Calvin Ridley. But Christian Kirk putting together a nice game, 16.4 fantasy points, 12 targets, 8 receptions, 84 receiving yards. So Kirk continues to be a player, full PPR, that we don't need to worry about starting. Evan Engram, about what you expect, sitting at 11 fantasy points. He's been good so far these first 4 weeks of the season. Not a high ceiling, but you know what you're going to get out of Engram on a weekly basis. And then, T-Law playing with a low ceiling again. And I don't quite think that he's really going to need to do much more in this game. And it's kind of, these game scripts are just not helping Trevor Lawrence on a weekly basis. So, I mean, I told you guys last night, I thought T-Law would bounce back today. And I mean, it's not like he's playing that bad. It's just the game scripts are not helping his stat lines or his fantasy stat lines at the end of the day. So I don't know. If you own T-Law, I'm still not panicking. But yeah, today just another low. I thought there would be more points in this game. And it's not like the Jaguars are playing that bad or anything. It's a low scoring game at the end of the day. I just usually in these London games, the defense kind of fades away, especially sometimes at the end of the game. But it is what it is, guys. I still think if you own T-Law, don't quite panic yet. But hopefully we start to see some higher ceilings out of him on a regular basis. So we'll see what happens, guys. But all right, let's get into it. Anything you guys need, let's go. Okay, we've got about an hour till the 1 o'clock slate kicks off. So we'll keep an eye on the Jags game, but they're up 20-7. There's 6 minutes left. Falcons did just about nothing today. So, all right, let's get into it. Ricky, what's up, man? Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Damian Pierce or Jerome Ford? I mean, yeah, this is kind of a tough choice. I feel like Jerome Ford is kind of one of these players that we can just start. I mean, I was down on him against the Titans last week, and he came through. Didn't have a good day on the ground at all. 1.8 yards per carry was fine in the, off his 2 receptions, but, off of 10 rushing attempts, he scored a touchdown, and off of 2 receptions, he had a touchdown. So, week before, 24 points against Pittsburgh. So, do I love this matchup for him today? Not really, and with Deshaun Watson out, which is something we'll have to talk about today, but I was already expecting this game to be kind of low scoring. I mean, the Ravens defense good, And then obviously the Browns defense is playing like, in terms of fantasy, the best defense in the league. But Jerome Ford, this matchup, the Ravens 15th overall against the position. So I think you can go Ford, but Dameon Pierce has the better matchup. It's just you have to kind of ask yourself the question, do I trust Pittsburgh, or do I trust Houston against Pittsburgh or not? They're on the road. I think it's a pretty similar floor here, but maybe you get more upside out of Dameon Pierce because the matchup's a bit better. Miles Sanders or Derrick Henry? I mean, yeah, like I know Henry has been pretty concerning over the last, week or so, whatever. But it's really tough for me to bench Henry, even coming off of 2 points last week. Cincy is an interesting start, interesting matchup, but I probably stick with Derrick Henry. The Vikings are actually 13th against the run right now, so I think I just stick with Henry. I could see Sanders outscoring him, but I still have a hard time benching Henry. Arthur, what's up, man? Lamar or Richardson? Richardson gives you more upside. This is the Browns defense is just nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I do feel like Lamar is still one of those quarterbacks that like you can just start no matter what because he's Lamar. If you want to roll with him, I don't have a problem with it. I'm starting him in a league over CJ Stroud. Rams Colts, interesting matchup here. I do think that A-Rich is a perfectly fine start. And like I said, I think you get a little bit more upside, but the Rams have been good against their quarterback position. They're 6 overall. I think you kind of pick your poison here. Both kind of have a lower ceiling, I think, for the day, but I might go Richardson for the upside, Lamar for the floor. Albert, what's up, man? Good to see you. Swift or Chiron and half PPR. Yeah, I like both these guys today. I do think that the Eagles at home, first divisional game, will make a statement. So if you want to go Swift, I think that's fine. I think Chiron's kind of the floor play, and I do like him. But I'd probably go Swift for the upside. Thielen, MT, or Dell? I go Tank Dell. I'm really on Tank Dell this week against Pittsburgh. It's a good matchup. I think the Texans will throw first. I like Tank Dell today, but I think these are all good options. Godfather, good to see you, bro. Fan, what's going on, man? Cheddarhead, what's up? Pickens, Collins, Pierce, Hall, or McLaurin. Got to pick 2. I go Nico Collins. I still think he's okay today against the Steelers. I know his volume's been going down. We've talked about Tank Dell. I'd rather start Tank Dell, but I think Collins is still a good start. And then I probably stick with McLaurin. I think he'll be okay today. The Eagles secondary has not played very good. I think McLaurin's just fine. I'd probably go McLaurin and Collins. If you like Pickens over one of those guys, maybe you can go Pickens, but Houston's been pretty good against opposing wide receivers. Good matchup for Dameon Pierce, but yeah, if it's full PPR, I'm going to go McLaurin and Collins here. Desmond Ridder struggles hard. Yeah, he needs a lot more time to get comfortable with what he's seen out there. I don't know if he has what it takes. Yeah, I mean, maybe like I think let's get a quarterback in place. I think this team would look completely different. But I agree with you, man. Tommy, what's up, bro? Ingram has been solid for me this year. 11 points so far. No touchdown this year, though. Yeah, but if you start scoring touchdowns, then that ceiling really starts to appear. But he's been consistent. I mean, that's all. I mean, hey, having a consistent tight end is really all you can ask for, right? Logan, Tua or Fields? I'd probably go Tua here. I mean, I think Fields is really tempting today, and if you don't have better options than Fields or even Russell Wilson, like I think that's completely fine. But ultimately, I think this matchup between the Bills and the Dolphins is going to be a good divisional matchup. So I probably go Tua. Dotson, Elijah Moore, or Quentin Johnston. Roll Josh Palmer. But ultimately, I probably go Dotson here. I think he's your best bet. All right. Let me know in the chat, guys, if the stream is like lagging or anything. I feel like on my view, it's been a little maybe laggy. I don't know. Let me know in the bottom of the chat. All right. Let's see here. Already hit this one. Josiah, what's up? Jerome Ford or Zach Moss? I probably go Zach Moss, but it's very close. I think it's a similar floor, similar ceiling for both these players today. It's close. Whoever you like better, I think is perfectly fine. Yeah, I agree, Godfather. Roll with Tua there. Amari or Tank Dell? Well, with Cooper out, I probably go Tank Dell. If you want to go Amari, he should still see the volume. Um, but I mean, Amari's still a good floor play, but I think Tank Dell brings that upside. Herbert or Brian Robinson? I stick with Brian Robinson, even in a tough matchup. I just don't trust Khalil Herbert so far. I just don't. What do you think about Akers' role as the season progresses? Already have Barkley, Pirine while Barkley's out, and Walker, but with like a solid third running back. I mean, this is still a pass first team. And you know, I think Akers will get some volume, but I just don't want to completely trust it just yet. I I'm okay with I don't know. I mean, as an RB3, like that's fine. And I mean, you know, Pirine has a good matchup today. And while Barkley's out, but yeah, I mean, Barkley and Walker are going to be your guys. So I mean, if you can pick up Akers, you know, I'm not trading like a tremendous amount for him or anything like that. But I think Akers would be okay. It's just a tough situation to read. I mean, I think Madison is still going to get volume. It's a pass first team. So it's tough. He's fine as RB3 though. Tom, we did a couple first TD bets, 5 each. Waddle, Ertz, Henry, Dell, and for what the heck, Michael Wilson. Yeah, I mean, first touchdown bets are tough. And they're just completely, I mean, you never know. They can all hit. I like Waddle though. He's interesting. Higher game total in Chargers. I feel like QJ is a sleeper. Everyone's still fine, but yeah, full PPR, I probably prefer the wide receiver right there. Sea Dog pick 2: Evans, Atwell, Cooper, and Dell. This is interesting because Mike Evans has a tough matchup. You know, historically doesn't play very good against Lattimore, but he's been on fire this year. Cooper is not going to be with his starting quarterback. Tough matchup. They are at home. But Atwell's been playing great. And Tank Dell's been playing great. So this might be one of those situations where you go ahead and you start the guys who, you know, don't have like the weird situations going on and have been playing good. And you might look at the end of the day back at your roster and say, man, I should have started Evans and Cooper because they still got the volume. But I probably go Dell and Atwell here and ride the hot hand. Super C&B, what's up? Need a tight end, Njoku or Ertz or any of the streaming options, Thomas, Everett, Kincaid. Yeah. I mean, like when we get into this tier tight ends, I mean, anyone's guess is as good as mine. I'm probably not starting Njoku today. I just am not really a believer in Njoku right now. And I mean, I don't know if we even have an update on him, but I don't know if he's going to be able to play after suffering burn injuries over the weekend. But yeah, I haven't been very high on Njoku. He's cleared to play, so that's good. I'm glad. But I don't really like Njoku right now. So I'd rather start Ertz, but it's just a tough matchup for him. And then like, yeah, the thing is like Kincaid, Knox, Hurst, any of these guys can like, you know, whoever scores is going to have the best day. It's just when we get into this tier tight end, it's so tough to make these decisions because it's so close. So, I mean, I still think Hurst is fine. You know, Bryce Young's playing today. He's targeted Hurst quite a bit, but it's a tough decision here. I think Kincaid and Knox are interesting, but that's also like who's going to score. Everett could see more volume with Mike Williams out. I might just roll with Ertz, but like, yeah, it's just hard to say like who's truly going to have the best day out of all these tight ends. It gets so close once we're into a tier like this. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Kickers. Derek's asking Tucker or Myers. Yeah, I mean, I like both of them. I probably just stick with Tucker. You know, I mean, this is one of those matchups where it's going to be hard for the Ravens to score, but I think they'll put together enough drives. I probably just roll with Tucker. He should have the opportunity to kick some field goals today. All right, thanks, Godfather. Appreciate you letting me know. Oz, Eagles or Niners defense? Probably stick with the Niners. I mean, I'm not sneezing at the Cardinals and what they're putting together currently, but I probably still go Niners. Eagles could have a big day, though. I don't know. Eagles are at home. Washington looked really bad last week. Maybe I'll go the Eagles, but it's very close there. Hunter Henry or Mark Andrews? I stick with Mark Andrews, even though this matchup's kind of ugly. I stick with Andrews. Yeah, Tucker is just one of those guys. Like, he is going to have weeks where the ceiling's not as high, but you just have to start him. Is Dak Prescott or Mac Jones? I still go Prescott here. It's not a great matchup for him, of course, but I still go Prescott. It's not a great matchup for Mac Jones either. So I'll stick with Prescott. Would you still start Debo even though he's questionable? I mean, if you have other options that you feel comfortable with, I think you can go ahead and roll with them. I would start Debo, but like kind of the issue with the Debo situation is at the end of the day, he doesn't play till 425. So we just have to bear that in mind. So like if you have other options that you think are good for the day, I think you can go ahead and roll with them. Tommy, flex Jerome Ford or Javonte Williams. Yeah, that's a tough choice. Javonte has a really good matchup today. Like the Bears just get ran all over and they give up a lot of touchdowns in the red zone, like we saw last week. So I think Javonte's fine, but once again, I think Jerome Ford at this point has proven enough. And like here's the thing: Jerome Ford could get more volume today with Watson out, but how many drives are we really going to see the Browns put together today? I probably go Javonte. Yeah, I think Javante's got a good chance for a touchdown as well. I agree. Tucci, what's up? I appreciate that, man. Who would you prefer a quarterback today, Fields or Purdy? I think I'm going Fields. I mean, I think Purdy's fine if you want like a safe floor. Once again, this Niners defense is ultimately nothing to sneeze at, but I think Purdy's fine. But the Broncos are the second worst team in the league against opposing quarterbacks in fantasy. So, and the Cardinals aren't too great at 24th against opposing quarterbacks, but I think I'm going. I know I said last week was like one more week with Fields. He should be playing from behind. Let's see what happens, but I'll go Fields. But if you don't feel good about it, you can go Purdy for a floor. But I think Fields at home could have a nice day. Would you prefer it flex, Roshan Woods or Downs? Probably Woods, then Downs, then Roshan. That's the order I'd put him in. Gordo, would you start Nico Collins or Devontae Shane? In full PPR, probably Collins still. Good matchup for him. Pittsburgh's secondary has been really poor. But if you like Devontae Shane, that's fine. Kyle, what's up, dude? Pats, Chargers, Hawks, or Bucks? I don't really want to start the Chargers defense. I think the Hawks are okay. I think the Bucks are okay. I don't really want to start the Pats against the Cowboys. I mean, I know like for the Chargers, they have a good opportunity here. I get kind of torn here. Like, I still don't like starting bad defenses just because like the opposing quarterback is hurt. I mean, if you want it, I think there's just risk if you go with the Chargers. I mean, before today, they're the 25th ranked team or 25th ranked defense in fantasy. So not great, right? 7th worst. So I probably go the Hawks. Tommy, I'm sorry. I see at the bottom of the chat. Mims, Pacheco, or Garrett Wilson. That is tough. I'd probably go Pacheco, though. I mean, I just feel like Pacheco is the safest play there. If you want to go Garrett Wilson, I mean, there's always a chance for a garbage time touchdown. I think that's okay. Yeah, I'd probably just roll with Pacheco. What do you think? Appreciate that, Grail Collect. Good to see you, bro. I'm good. My daughter is the one who's the sickest right now. Just mention Amari Cooper for Palmer. I mean, yeah, guys, I do think if you own Cooper, like he's still okay floor play. The volume. I think this is going to be a really interesting game to watch. Well, I mean, just from like, I probably go Palmer. I really like Palmer today. I think it's a great matchup for him. So I probably stick with Palmer here. But I mean, yeah, I don't want to say like Cooper is a bad start necessarily. The Ravens 18th against the position, so it's they're kind of smack dab in the middle. But the Raiders just a better matchup, 22nd against the position. I'd probably go Josh Palmer, but I mean, it's close. Like I have a league where I benched Cooper today, and I don't feel like bad about it necessarily. Because now I'm starting Devontae Adams, which we could question as well because I mean we're benching Cooper for kind of the same type of situation. But Adams, I feel like you have to start. But got Adams, Waddle, Flowers, and Atwell. Got Cooper on the bench, so I'm still tempted to go like Cooper over Atwell or Flowers. Even it's a tough matchup for Flowers, but it's a tough call between some of these guys. So yeah, I mean, like if you have another option that you feel better about, then I think that's fine. If you still feel like you need to start Cooper, I don't think it's like a huge issue. I just wouldn't expect a high ceiling out of him. But I like Palmer today. Kyle, start 3. Flowers, Brian Robinson, Pacheco, Atwell, Ford, Shane. I mean, if you guys are starting Zay Flowers, I still don't think he's going to have necessarily a great day. It's a really tough matchup for him, but I do think that the Ravens could steal some momentum in this game. I think there is risk with Flowers because this matchup is, I mean, it's tough at the end of the day. The Browns are the best team in the league against opposing wide receivers. So bear that in mind, but I still think the volume will be there for Flowers if you want to start him. Robinson's got a tough matchup. So normally, like, those are just guys that we're starting. So, I mean, if you kind of believe in that method, like, oh, I just have to start these two guys, then I think that's fine. But yeah, I think Jerome Ford is perfectly okay here, and Atwell is perfectly okay. I mean, this is a tough one because there's kind of interesting dynamics with all these players. Like, I probably go. I mean, once again, of course, it depends. I'm assuming it's full PPR, but I probably stick with Flowers, Brian Robinson, and I probably go with Atwell or Ford, whoever you feel better about. But it's close. And if you like Devon Shane, like, I don't mind him here as well. What do you think? Plays in the slot and gets the targets, gets those PPR, stat lines, and we're seeing that. But I still think Ridley is worth picking up. This offense is just an interesting place. Really debating on picking up Everett or Palmer. I would pick up Palmer for sure. I mean, I don't hate Everett necessarily, but I think Palmer is the player to pick up out of the two. Why did I draft Kyle Pitts? Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, if you did. I mean, admittedly, I haven't been very big on Pitts the last 2 years, but Pitts was falling in like the 7th or 8th round. I thought he was worth the risk this year, but man, it has not been pretty. Leon, standard, need one. Puka, Nico, Judy, Pierce. I mean, and standard for me, I might go Pierce. He's definitely, I think the player is the best chance to get in the end zone. But I mean, like Puka and Nico are probably the best players here. I need one wide receiver and one flex. Okay. I mean, but Judy against the Bears, like, just feels like one of these games where Judy can actually score a touchdown. And for that reason, like, you have to consider Jerry Judy here. And he's kind of due for a touchdown as well. Like, I mean, I think if you own Cortland Sutton, I really like him today. But Judy does not have a touchdown this year. The Bears are absolute trash. 21st in the league against the position. So it's just one of those games where I feel like Judy can score. And in standard, getting into the end zone is much more important. But Nico Collins a really good matchup here. I'd probably go Judy and Nico, believe it or not. Close, though. Yeah, who knew Johnny Smith was tied in one? Arthur Smith, baby. Who should I flex? Garrett Wilson, Ford, a Shane, Flowers, DJ Moore. Probably a Shane or Ford. Tough matchups for the rest of those guys. You're good, Kyle. No worries, bro. Defense, Colts or Hawks? I go Hawks. Addison or Palmer? It's very close. I mean, overall, I like Addison more, but Palmer's got the better matchup. Should I drop Edwards for either Roschon Johnson or Charbs? I'd rather have either of those. I think they're better handcuffs. I don't trust. I'm not a Ravens backfield guy. I don't trust the Ravens backfield. So yeah, I go for Charbs personally, but Roschon's fine too. Full PPR, need one flex, or excuse me, one wide receiver, two flex. Cooper, Thielen, Collins, Palmer, Rashad White. Thielen's interesting today. Revenge game. Great matchup. I still think he can start him, but he has a lower ceiling with Bryce Young at quarterback. But I probably go Thielen, Collins, Palmer. Tough matchup for Rashad White. Don't like that matchup for him. And Cooper without Watson is probably okay, but I think you have good enough options that you go with the other three wide receivers here. Richardson or Cousins at QB today. Yeah, for me, I feel like Cousins is fine, but this Panthers defense is they just don't make it easy for the opposing team to have a lot of upside in fantasy. I mean, they're the 8th best team against opposing quarterbacks. I probably go A-Rich. I feel like Cousins still has a good enough floor, but I'd probably go A-Rich. Smokey, what's good, my guy? DJ Moore, Godwin. I don't like either of these guys this week. I'll go DJ Moore, but I'm worried about him getting the Pat Surtain treatment. So I don't love the matchup for Godwin, Smokey. Overall, the Broncos are 27th against the wide receiver position. So, I mean, he has the better matchup compared to the Saints, who are 13th. So, I guess I go DJ Moore, but I don't like either of them this week. Tommy, I only have one more share of Garrett Wilson after trading him in 2 leagues. I feel like he could find the end zone or garbage time, like you said. Might give him a shot over Pacheco. I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think it's a really high ceiling for Pacheco this week. I don't really ever think it is a high ceiling, but I think both are fine. I don't think you're getting a ton of points out of either of them. Yeah, Ritter just not that guy. Had a parlay today. Jags spread. Trevor Lawrence 1+ touchdown, throwing touchdown. Calvin Ridley touchdown, Bijan Robinson touchdown. So, yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. I was so close. Everlast, any change in my lineup? Mahomes, Smith, Allen, Hopkins, Henry, Pacheco, Goddard, Mike Thomas. Got Otton, Ford, McLaurin, Lazard, Love. I mean, you could consider McLaurin over Pacheco in the flex. No, I'm sorry. That's not the flex. Yeah, no, I mean, you could consider McLaurin over Thomas. I do like Thomas this week. But I think this lineup's just fine. If you feel comfortable with it, I think it's fine. McLaurin over Thomas is like the only change that I might make. Yeah, good game for Ingram. I mean, we know what we're getting out of Evan Ingram on a regular basis, right? Which is good. Kicks for Mike. What's up? PPR, wide receiver 2 in a flex. Najee, Debo, Mike Evans, D-Hop, Thielen, Tank Dell. I'll go Tank Dell. And usually, I mean, we're going Debo here. If you feel okay about the Debo situation, I think he's perfectly fine. It's just one of these things where he plays at 425 a little bit later in the day. So you need to make sure that you have kind of like a backup option. But let me see the update. I mean, he's expected to play. So I'd probably just roll Debo out there and then I'd start Tank Dell. Chris and Don, hello. Who do I start at RB2 half PPR? Cook or Mostart? Oof. I love both these guys today. The better matchup is for Cook, but Mostert's really hard to bench right now. So, I mean, whoever you feel better about, I like both a lot. Half PPR, maybe Mostert gets the edge because Cook, his stat lines are really reliant on catching the football, which you don't get as much in half PPR, obviously. So maybe Mostert, but I like both a lot this week. Who at flex and wide receiver 3? And half PPR for running back. Whoever you didn't choose at RB2. Okay. Puka, Cooper, Flowers. Half PPR. I mean, I probably bench Flowers here because he has the worst matchup. But if you don't feel good about Cooper's situation, you could put Flowers in over him. I think you're in a situation where you have to start Puka here. Yeah, we gotta help Ingram get in the end zone, right? Godfather, have a good day, man. C-Crip, what's up? Sutton or Moss? I go Sutton. It's a great matchup for him. He's been playing just fine. I like Sutton this week. Full PPR, Ayuk or A-Shane. I go Ayuk. Yeah. Swift or Chiron? I like both these guys. Chiron for a floor, Swift for upside. Thielen, MT, or Dell? I'll go Dell. Okay, I'm getting repeats. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get to the bottom of the chat. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go. Tyler, pick 2 to start. Ramondre, Connor, and Kamara. Yeah, we got a weird situation brewing in New England. Okay. Because the report is that the starting reps are going to go to Zeke today, which makes, I don't know. That's just a report I read. And then, yeah, Sleeper says increased workload against Dallas. So, I mean, he had 16 touches last week to Ramondre's 20 on the ground, purely 17 total, and then 23 total if we're including 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, he had 16 touches last week to Ramondre's 20 on the ground purely. 17 total and then 23 total if we're including 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, he had 16 touches last week to Ramondre's 20 on the ground purely. 17 total and then Well, if we're including targets, not receptions. But yeah, I don't mind Ramondre today. And I think Kamara could be eased in. I mean, I definitely go Connor here. And then whoever you feel better between Kamara and Ramondre, because now Ramondre is going to be losing touches to Zeke. And then Kamara, I do like, but still a tough matchup. And I think he'll be eased in a little bit today. But they are kind of flimsy at running back right now. So maybe I go Connor and Kamara. But if you like Ramondre over Kamara, I think that's fine. Full PPR, who to start? Ayuk, Ford, Shane. I go Ayuk. Smokey, other option is Palmer, so more of Palmer. Yeah, I would go Palmer. I go Palmer. Good matchup for him. Angel, what's up? Sutton, Tank, Chiron. Sutton. I like Sutton a lot today. I think if you own Cortland Sutton, he's a really strong flex option. Chocolate, Lamar or Geno? Geno's got the better matchup. It's hard to bench a guy like Lamar. I mean, he can always go off. They're in an away game. This Browns defense is probably going to be the highlight of their team today. I probably go Geno here, but once again, yeah, Lamar, one of these guys we can always start, but I probably go Geno. GT Sport, what's up? Flex one, Flowers, Dell, Lockett, Maury, Shane. Lockett or Dell, whoever you feel better about. Those are the guys with the best matchups here and good flex options. I really like Tank Dell this week, guys. So if he has a bad week, don't hate me, but it's Dell or Lockett for me. J-Dubs, good morning. What's up? I guess not morning. Happy Sunday. Happy week 4. Jimbo, a Shane or Ford? Yeah, I mean, I feel like these guys have pretty similar floors and ceilings, but I see a more competitive game script for the Bills Dolphins, so maybe I'll go Devon A. Shane. Superflex, Sam Howell or Bryce Young? Yeah, I don't like either of these guys this week. Yeah, Sam Howell on the road against Philly does not, after last week's performance, doesn't feel great. Let me see here. So let's see. The Eagles are 27th against the quarterback position. They have not been good against opposing QBs. So if you think Sam Howell can bounce back on the road, I think that's probably okay. Do I like Bryce Young this week? I mean, admittedly, he has a much better matchup. Well, maybe not much better, but a better matchup. You know, the Vikings 30th, so 3 spots below. Or yeah. Who do you feel better about? The Vikings have been giving up a lot of points as a total. So I might go Bryce Young here. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles haven't been playing great against opposing quarterbacks. Their secondary hasn't been playing great, but I don't know. First divisional game. Commanders coming off a really tough loss. I might go Bryce Young. But yeah, I don't see there's really nothing separating the two that makes me say, like, yeah, you should start this guy over the other. But I probably go Young. The Vikings stink. Go Young, I guess. Need a flex, half PPR for running back, full PPR for wide receiver. Cooper or Cook? I go Cook. I like Cook a lot today. Cooper's fine, but I'll go Cook. If Deshaun Watson was playing, I go Cooper, but since not, I'll go Cook. GT Sport, A. Shane, White, Sanders. Sanders is fine. Probably go Sanders, A. Shane, then White. Bears looking to trade Claypool, asking for a 5th or 6th round pick. Yeah, what an awful investment. Well, they traded a 2nd rounder for him. Jeez. No problem, Angel. That's what we're here for. Ooh, a little matchup between J-Dubs and Tommy today. Nice. Bryce, A. Shane, Judy, Ford, Collins. I start Collins and Judy if it's full PPR. Little bunny up. Hey, bro. Debo or Ford? Yeah, I go Debo. He's expected to play. I'll go Debo. Kamara or Purist, PPR. I'll go Purist, believe it or not. It's a better matchup for him. And I don't know. I could be way off on this. So, as always, trust your own gut. But I think Kamara is going to be kind of eased in today. So I'll go Pierce. Yeah, I agree, J-Dubs. At this point, it looks like, Debo is going to play. So I think you roll him out there. I think he's a perfectly fine start. And yeah, I think you just stick with him. You know, I'm not sneezing at the Cardinals defense by any means. By any means. But I do think it's a better matchup overall. And I still think Debo is a very trustworthy player. So I think he's perfectly fine to go ahead and roll out there. Puka or Tank Dell. I like both today, but I really like Tank Dell. I don't know, but they both have great matchups. So whoever you feel better about. I do think there's probably better volume for Puka today. And he should play better. I mean, not like he played awful last week. It was just more of a defensive game. I think Puka's fine. I think he's more the floor play here. Well, Dell has a little bit more risk, but probably more upside. Second round to fifth. Great job, Bears. I know. What a season so far. Still early. If you're a Bears fan, it's still early. Do I start Stevenson, Dell, or Tutu? Dell. If Dell has a bad game, don't hate me, guys. You know, always trust your own gut, follow your conviction, like I always say. But I think Tank Dell is going to have a good game. I probably roll him out there. Sit to Amari Sutton, DK Dell, Chiron, or Hollywood. I will sit Amari due to the situation at quarterback. Very close with the next one. I'm definitely starting Sutton, Sutton, DK, and Dell. Hollywood looks fine. You know, that's kind of the thing. But Chiron is like, I mean, I know last week was down. It was just a bad matchup. I think I'll go Chiron, but if you feel better about Hollywood, I think that's fine. You know, J-Dubs, I do feel like this could just be a master plan by Bill Belichick, and Zeke gets like no touches today, but I am a little spooked as well. If Zeke's available in your league, he's probably worth throwing on the bench. If you pick up Zeke or keep Pacheco, I'd still keep Pacheco, even though I just said you should pick up. But I mean, it of course depends on who you have to drop, but I'd keep Pacheco. Let me see. Craig, start 3. Full PPR, Cooper, Moore, Addison, Flowers, Waddle, Olave. Waddle and Olave, easy. The third one, I mean, like any of these guys can outscore each other. Cooper still okay for a floor. It just depends on what options you have. Tough matchup for Flowers today, so I'm a little hesitant around him. Like I own a league right now, or I'm in a league right now where I own, you know, my flex options today. It's double flex would be Cooper, Flowers, and Tutu Atwell, and I'm really torn. You know, it's kind of a similar situation here. I might go DJ Moore. Just he honestly has the best matchup, but it's just like how well does he play against Pat Surtain? It's the Bears are messy, but the Broncos are pretty dang messy as well. So the third one's tough. It's definitely Waddle and Olave for me. And I think Cooper's a fine floor play. Flowers, I mean, the Browns, not the Bears, are the best team in the league against opposing wide receivers. So close. Then Addison, the Panthers are top 10 against the wide receiver position. So it's very close here. Very, very close here. I would say whoever you feel best about, but technically on paper, the best matchup is actually DJ Moore. Keep Pacheco. I agree. Start Collins or Dell. I'm going to ride the hot hand here and go Tank Dell, but I still think Nico Collins can put together a nice game today. But I think Dell is we're going to ride that upside, right? Scotty Boy, kind of want to play Breida tomorrow. Saquon is doubtful, but not out yet. Yeah, I mean, I think Breida has a good opportunity in this game. It's a good matchup. He scored a touchdown against the Niners. Like he's a good floor play, but obviously you're just not getting the same upside there. Pray, get out of here, Pray. I hate you. Let's see here. Damian, White, Stevenson, Connor. Call me crazy, but I'm rolling Connor out there. It's close. I mean, not the best matchups for any of these guys, but I'm sticking with Connor. The volume's been really good. Depending on Matt Breida, if Barkley doesn't play, yeah, like I just said, a good floor play. You know, nothing more than that, but he's fine. Super flex. How do you feel about DTR? It's very risky. It's risky. I mean, like if you don't have better options, then I guess it's okay. You know, I mean, that is kind of the nature of a super flex league. The Ravens are 9th in the league against opposing quarterbacks in fantasy. I mean, he looked good in the preseason, but that was the preseason. This is a home game, which benefits him. Depends on who else you have. But I mean, like, this isn't like one of those starts where we're just like, oh, yeah, the defense is so bad. We can take the risk here. I probably wouldn't do it. Who do I play? Okay. I mean, Najee, guys, I get it. The Najee, I get it. It's tough to put Najee in your lineup right now. But I mean, this matchup against the Texans is about as good of a matchup as you could want. It's a home game. I think, or no, I'm sorry, it's an away game, but still, I think Najee could have one of these weeks where he's been looking really poor, and then he finds the end zone this week and gets like double digits. So I might actually lean Najee here. It's a great matchup at the end of the day, and like, I mean, we just know that we want to start running backs against the Texans. They are the fourth worst team in the league against position. Yeah, I think I'm leaning Najee. Call me crazy. Pick 2, Ramondre, Zeke, Brees, Roshan. I mean, is it crazy to say Ramondre and Zeke? I mean, you can definitely start Roshan in this type of situation. I'm probably still benching Brees. I mean, this Chiefs defense is good. They are definitely nothing to sneeze at. And they play pretty dang good against the running back position. 5th best team in the league in fantasy against opposing running backs. Brees just unfortunately hasn't been there. The offense hasn't been there. I mean, it's a home game for the Jets, but yeah, I'd probably go Roshan, and then the Ramondre Zeke thing is going to be interesting. It's not even a good matchup for him, but apparently Zeke's looking to get more touches today than Ramondre. See what he does with them. Flip a coin. Who do you like more, Roshan or Zeke? But I think you can go Roshan over the other. Cooper or DJ Moore? DJ Moore is the risk. He holds the upside. Cooper is the floor. Not much upside. Appreciate that, Craig. Players either Hubbard, Breida, or Latavius Murray. I mean, honestly, any of these guys are like they're all kind of in a similar tier. But Chuba gets downgraded with, if Sanders didn't play today, then I think you could go Chuba because he should see the best volume. But Latavius Murray is like kind of sneaky. Like, is he going to score a touchdown? He might get you double digits, but I agree. I think I go Breida here. Who drafted Kamara is ready to unleash the monster. Yeah, I hope he has a big game, but I'm just a little worried that they kind of ease him into things today. So we'll kind of see what happens. I'm rolling Kamara out first game. Carr doesn't mind checking it down. That's a good point. I'm a little worried. Patriots or Chargers defense. I mean, it's not a great matchup for the Pats. I think you can roll them out there. But yeah, I mean, Dallas, then they put up 10 points against the Jets, and that was it. They haven't scored more than 6 points. I mean, they played Philly and Miami. They're at Dallas. I don't really love them today. I don't really like the Chargers, though. They're just not a good defense. They have a good opportunity. I mean, I think between the two, you probably do go the Chargers because at least there's upside involved. But yeah, I don't really love either today. I think if you guys, I think you can start the Chargers today due to the opportunity, but we just have to bear in mind, like, there's still risk because this is not a good defensive unit at the end of the day. GT Sport, Puka, Tutu, Miles, Judy. Puka and Judy for me. If you want to go Puka and Tutu, I don't hate it, but I think Judy could have a really good game today against the Bears. Richardson or Jones? Jones for a floor or A-Rich for upside. Saquon's doubtful. Start Breida or Godwin. I mean, this sounds crazy, but I literally might actually say Breida here. I mean, Godwin is just not giving us a high enough ceiling right now. I mean, the Saints are just one of these defenses I just don't want to start my players against. Seriously, I think I go Breida here. I mean, I don't think you get much of a higher ceiling out of Godwin, so tough call. I mean, so far on the season, when we look at Godwin, I mean, obviously the eyes for Baker have been on Mike Evans, but yeah, Godwin, 10 points, 10 points, 8 points. Like, he's okay if it's full PPR. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I think Breida has more upside. All right, let me see. Who's a better stash, Mims or Johnston? I mean, based on production, it's Marvin Mims. Based on opportunity, it might be Quinn Johnston, but I would personally hold Mims. 3 Walketeers, start 2, Judy, McLaurin, Godwin, Dell. Judy and Dell or McLaurin and Dell, but close. I definitely go Dell. I think McLaurin will be okay today. The volume should be there. But if you want to upside play, it's Judy against the Bears because the Bears are bad. Mondre Kamara, I go Kamara. And I don't feel good about Ramondre today. I don't feel great about Kamara. Like I've been saying, I think he could be slowly eased in today, but I'll go Kamara. Shane, what's up, my guy? Sanders or H-Chain? I'd probably go H-Chain, but it's close. I think it's pretty close here, but I think I like the game script more for the Dolphins and Bills. Moss, Thielen, Sutton, Tutu, or Terry. I really like Sutton today. George, Ravens or Bengals? Shoot, I might go the Ravens, but I do think the Bengals are a good streaming opportunity. But I might go the Ravens here. Kamara or Pierce? Better matchup for Pierce. I might go Kamara here. I'm not super in on Pierce, but I think he's okay if you want to. I mean, like I said, there's some risk here with Kamara. He could be eased in. It just depends on who you can start over him, but very, very close. Whoever you feel better about. I think I go. I mean, Kamara at least brings more upside, right? Ravens, Bengals, or Bucks? I'll go the Ravens here. Thoughts on trading away Stevenson for Jacobs? I think that's fine. I mean, I don't think Stevenson's like completely doomed or his season's over. We need to kind of see some things come to fruition here, but Jacobs a good buy low. He's got a great matchup today, so it might change after today. You might not be able to do that trade, so bear that in mind. And if you don't, I mean, like you literally have like 15 minutes to do the trade. So we're still starting Coop. If you don't have better options, I think his floor is safe, but the upside's limited with Watson out. Tough matchup. Yeah, it just depends. If you don't have a better option, I think Cooper safe in full PPR. Abraham, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Happy week 4. C Crip, which QB should I stream? Richardson, Burrow, Geno, Fields, or Russ? I mean, listen, man, any of these guys can outscore each other. I think Burrow, if he really is a little bit more rested and healed up, this matchup against the Titans, the secondary is so bad. I think Burrow could have a really big bounce back performance. Richardson brings a lot of upside. Fields and Russ in that toilet bowl matchup, man, there's going to be some points. Geno's got a good matchup. I mean, any of these guys are fine, man. It's really hard to call between these 5 players. Like they all have reasons why they could outscore each other. So I'd say whoever you feel better about, but if Burrow is available, like I think you should just pick up Burrow because I think he should still be rostered because once he's healthy, he's going to be Joe Burrow. But I mean, this front 7 for the Titans is good. They're good against the run. They could put some pressure on Burrow today, which could be worrisome. But man, that secondary is just so bad. I know a lot of the passes were not great from Burrow last week, but man, I just think Burrow's kind of tough to pass on here for me. But if you don't feel good about the situation, I'd probably go Richardson, but Fields or Russ are really tempting as well. Which one will have the better day? I don't quite know. Ravens or Tampa Bay? I go Ravens. I'll go with Ravens. All right, we got good reports on Kamara, according to Bunny Hop. I don't know why I'm worried about it. Maybe you guys are convincing me not to be worried, though. Yeah, and I mean, the thing with Jacobs is the first 3 weeks of last year, he was bad, and then he was really good. So is that going to happen this year? I mean, I don't quite know, but it could. Kelly, Zeke, Godwin. I might bench Godwin here. I actually think Kelly is a fine start this week against the Raiders in a game where the Chargers could pass first and get up early. So I just don't like Godwin a lot this week, but if you prefer him, if you don't like the split between Zeke and Ramondre, even if it favors Zeke apparently today, you can still go Godwin. I just don't see a high ceiling for Godwin this week, but I don't know. Maybe with Lattimore on Evans and everything, Godwin gets ignored near the red zone. He could stumble in. It's close. Maybe I go Kelly and Godwin, but Zeke's okay too. Miles Sanders or Waddle? Definitely Waddle. I mean, if Waddle's suiting up, like he's been banged up between what the hip or rib injury, what was it, and then the concussion. But if Waddle's out there, this is a big divisional game for both teams. Should be points in this game. You got to go Waddle. Yeah, I mean, if Burrow's available, like you need to pick up Burrow, in my opinion. Breida or Sanders? Probably still Sanders, but Breida's, I think, okay. Bass or Moody? I will go Moody, but I think both are going to have really good days, but I go Moody. Breida or Sanders? Yeah, once again, Sanders, but I think Breida's okay. Which lineup do you like the best? Zeke and Roshan or Ramondre and Roshan or Zeke and Ramondre? Yeah, I think it's super close between all these potential starters. I mean, I don't think like the Patriots are going to score that many points today. If it was a better matchup, I think you could go Zeke and Ramondre, but you kind of have to ask yourself the question, who do you think is going to make the most fantasy-wise out of the split between Zeke and Ramondre? You start the other one, then I think you start Roshan against Denver. But it's really hard to call between Zeke and Ramondre because we don't really know what like this improved workload is going to look like for both Zeke and Ramondre Stevenson. So, excuse me, it's a tough call this week, but I don't know. I really don't know who I like more between Ramondre and Zeke, but I definitely start Roshan. Chat, let us know. And maybe just briefly why. Who would you start, Zeke or Ramondre? And I think you just throw Roshan. I don't even see a high ceiling for Roshan, but that matchup is just good. And then at least gives you some exposure. Toilet bowl. We want to try and target, right? And Septivus need to start Happy PR, White, Palmer, Sutton, Pickens. I will go Palmer and Sutton. I just think that they have, Palmer, a great matchup today. And then Sutton, I mean, this matchup, once again, the toilet bowl. I keep calling it that, but there's going to be points in it. Like it's something that we want to exploit from a fantasy perspective. So yeah, I go Palmer. And then I go Sutton. Sorry, guys. Had to send a text real quick. Ravens or Browns defense? I'll go Ravens. Sanders and A-Shane. I go Sanders by a hair. But I don't. If you like A-Shane more, I think he's fine. Appreciate you guys. Like and sub. Thank you, guys. Would you drop DJ Moore? Not quite yet. At least he's like a okay flex option. Herbert or Hall? I mean, I don't like either, but I'll go Herbert due to matchup. Is it time to panic for Jacobs and Mixon? No, Mixon scored last week. The game scripts haven't been great with Burrow hurt, and Jacobs, a good matchup today. The volume's been there. Don't panic yet. Don't panic yet. Cooper or Ayuk? I'll go Ayuk. Dallas or Denver's defense? Dallas. I mean, I'm not starting Denver's defense, even against the Bears. I would play Sutton over Moss and Myers. Herbert or Hall? Herbert. I mean, the Chiefs have been really good against opposing running backs. And yeah, I mean, it is a home game for the Jets. Herbert is really untrustworthy, but like if you guys are in a tough situation, you have Roshan Johnson, you have Herbert, you have Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. I mean, in a desperate situation, Darnell Mooney, even like I would start players in this game. I just don't envision there being a lot of defense in this game, but I mean, you never know. It's the NFL, right? Mateo, what's good, man? After the A-Shane news about having a bigger role, who would you start at RB2, Robinson, Javonte, or A-Shane? I mean, I think Devon Shane's fine, but the best matchup here, once again, is Javonte Williams. Like, I think Javonte is just such a safe play. It's hard to bench him, but yeah, I do like Devon Shane. A little bit of a tougher matchup, but the game script's good. Brian Robinson is a player that we want to start. It's just a tough matchup on the road against the Eagles. So, shoot, I mean, I might go Javonte. Just feels so safe, but if you like A-Shane more, I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't know quite what we're gonna do today, Bunny Hop. I think we're gonna try and go do something outside. It's like that fall weather just kicked in, man. Super nice, but I appreciate you asking. Definitely gonna hang out with the family today and probably have Red Zone on my phone all day. But I am definitely ready just to have a nice Sunday. Appreciate that. We've all been sick. My daughter's still sick, but she's getting better. So Abraham, Ravens or Chargers? I will go Ravens still because the Chargers are bad at defense. And then, like, kind of looking at similar situations, Jimmy G's out, Deshaun Watson's out. At least we can start the better defense and the Ravens as opposed to the Chargers. Everlast. Only reason I consider Broncos. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. It makes sense. Maybe if the Broncos were at home, but I just, after getting 70 points put on them, and I just think this game script is going to be all offensive. I mean, like I just said a couple minutes ago, it's the NFL. You never know. If we did know, then we'd all be sports gambling for a living. But I think you stick with the other option there. Would you consider flexing A-Chain or Robinson over Palmer? I mean, I could consider it. I think they're both fine. They've both been productive enough, at least in the last week or so. Robinson is becoming a player that we can start. It's just such a tough matchup on the road. I think the Eagles are going to have a really good day. So yeah, I mean, the Eagles are literally the best team in the league against opposing running backs. So I will go Palmer. If you like A-Chain more, I'm not totally against it, but I think Palmer, I'm pretty high on Palmer this week, so he better deliver. Yes, we'll definitely try and, I mean, she's been pretty sleepy the past couple of days, but it is really nice weather, so we're going to try and get her outside and probably be good for her, right? Appreciate that, man. Jerry, Pacheco, Ayuk, Pittman, or more? Half PPR. I go Ayuk, but I do like Pittman a lot. If you like Pittman more, that's fine. Pittman or Ayuk are the best plays here. Half PPR, full PPR, regardless. Pittman's been great. I mean, I might literally just go Pittman, but Ayuk, hard to bench as well. I think both those guys have good days. Whoever you like more. Start Dell over Debo. I think Debo's fine to start today. I mean, it looks like he's going to play. It's not the worst matchup in the world, not the best. I think Debo's kind of a hard guy to bench. It's a home game. But Tank Dell brings that upside, man. It's a great matchup. If you don't feel good about the Debo situation, if you want a little bit more upside, I think Tank Dell is perfectly fine. I really like Tank Dell this week. So, yeah, man, I appreciate you being on the stream and appreciate being able to give you guys advice. So, no worries at all, my guy. Start AR or Purdy. I'll put it this way. Purdy is the floor play. Okay. So, Purdy gives you a pretty safe floor going into this matchup. The Niners are a great defense or a great front seven, but ultimately, the Cardinals are, they're not playing bad defensively. It's just home game for the Niners. Purdy should have a good day, but I don't know. This Cardinals team is like really, really difficult to gauge on a weekly basis. But I'd probably go Anthony Richardson. I just think there's too much upside to kind of ignore. I'd probably go AR. Should I do it based on who I start? I think you just go Ayuk and Pittman. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You can only start one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, that might be smart. Yeah, if you go Richardson, start Pittman. If you go Purdy, go Ayuk. But I could really see Ayuk or Pittman outscoring each other. It's super close between those two guys. But I think that's smart. Go for the stack. Mixon or Sanders? Sanders. I don't like this matchup for Mixon. This is the one thing Tennessee is good at is stopping the run. I'll go Sanders. Mixon can always stumble in the end zone, give you a decent stat line, but I'll go Sanders. Stroud or Dak? I see more upside for Stroud. Might go Stroud. I mean, Steelers have not been very good against quarterbacks and wide receivers. Do I start Stevenson or Breida? I mean, I'd probably still start Stevenson, but if you don't like the situation, you can go Breida. Would you start Woods or Dotson? Probably Woods. It's a better matchup. Actually, the Eagles have not been good against wide receivers, but Dotson hasn't shown us anything. I'm so disappointed in Dotson. I'll go Woods. Moss or Pierce? Close, but probably Moss. The Steelers have not been good against opposing running backs. If you like Pierce more, I think it's fine. It's super close between these guys. Who to start, Stevenson, Kelly, or Ford? Best matchup is Kelly. I still think Ford is startable, but I don't know. With Watson out, I don't feel great. I might go Kelly. If you want to start Stevenson, I don't think he's doomed, but the news isn't promising. It is a tough matchup. I probably go Kelly. Can't believe we're like sitting Stevenson. It's week 4. Always something, right? Jerry, you have a great day as well. I appreciate you, man. Good luck to you. Did you see that Zeke will get starter reps? Yeah, this is a weird situation. We need to see it unfold, and we'll kind of go from there. Dom, what's up, my guy? Sanders or A-Shane? Close. Upsides with A-Shane, floors with Sanders. Pick up Zeke for Algier. Yeah, I think you can do that. I mean, at this point, like with Algier, I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to see what we saw week 1 again. I mean, they play Houston next week, so maybe then. But yeah, I'd probably rather roster Zeke right now. Which two of these guys should I start? Cook, Kyron, Swift. I like all these guys a lot this week. I'd probably start, if it's full PPR, Cook and Swift because they get the most receiving work. Kyron and low floor last week, a defensive game, but man, these are all, I mean, any of these guys can outscore each other is the problem. I'd probably go Cook and Swift for the most upside, though. Very close, though. If you like one over the other, don't feel bad about it. I think they all have good days. Tommy, Stroud and Dell to the moon. Let's go. Hope you get that dub today. Adrian, start to Tutu, Javonte, Judy, Dell. Yeah, I mean, I like this matchup between the Broncos and Bears, but I probably go Judy and Dell in full PPR. But if you like Atwell more, that's fine. Scoop up Jameson Williams. Yeah, definitely. If he's available, you know, with getting reinstated early, I think you pick him up for sure. Yeah, Kelly has not shown us anything so far that is promising with this opportunity. I mean, like literally, he only played well when Eckler was still playing in that week 1 matchup against Miami, right? And we were all like, what? But yeah, I mean, so far things have just not been promising in any way. But this is just a really good matchup. This is the 7th worst team in the league against the position. So I think it's worth it today. And then they get the bye week, and then Eckler should be back. So I think this is like the last chance, right? No problem at all, Flair. Happy to help. Richardson or Fields? I think Fields could have a nice day if you want to take the risk. I think it's okay, but I'd probably go Richardson. I'd probably stick with AR here, but it's close. I mean, this is like our last chance to start Justin Fields. If he does not play well in this game, I mean, it's over. Like last week, I was fine. But, I mean, it is a tougher matchup for Richardson, so bear that in mind. Thielen or Pickens? Thielen has the better matchup. Revenge game. Bryce Young. I don't know. I guess I go Thielen, but it's close. Anthony, Judy, Downs, Johnson, Collins. Judy and Collins. Best matchups. Go Judy and Collins. Those are the guys I like the best here. J-Dubs says, good luck, everyone. And that's a perfect way to kind of wrap up here, guys. If you have any more last-minute questions, get them in. I will be off in about a minute. So thank you guys for hanging out today. If you guys are new to the channel, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope I helped you guys out. Hopefully you guys subscribed. Free Discord link is in the description down below. Make sure you guys hit the like on the way out. Instagram link is down below. Other places you guys can reach me. You guys can post your rosters on Discord, get community review, ask any fancy questions on Discord as well. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully I gave you guys some good advice today, and hopefully you guys all win your matchups today. Ertz, Thomas, or Goddard. Believe it or not, I like Ertz the most, but you can still risk Goddard. I just hate tight ends so much right now. I'd probably go Ertz, but if you like Goddard more, I think that's fine. Yeah, I mean, maybe Goddard. It's just tough. Maybe Goddard. I think I might go Goddard there. The Niners are pretty good against tight ends, but it's tough. All right, guys, it's 1 o'clock. So everyone go enjoy some football. Have a great Sunday. Everyone be safe. Thank you guys so much for all the fantasy questions today and allowing me guys to try and give you guys some good advice. And that'll wrap it up today. So have a great Sunday. Don't forget, it's just fantasy. Enjoy some football. But I get it. It's more than just football. It's fantasy. I get it. But try and enjoy the games. And everyone be safe. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow after the games. So with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And peace.